Good morning, everybody. It's your boy D Max. So let's go ahead and talk about this thing this morning. That's right, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Narcissism. That's what we talking about. But I'm not talking about it in the sense where I'm about to bag on people for their narcissism and tell people that you shouldn't be like this and how demonized narcissism should be and all. I'm not going to do all that. I'm getting ready to hit it from an aspect to where can narcissism be helpful? And I've pointed out a few ways that I feel like narcissism can be helpful if you're mindful of your narcissism. Because a narcissist is basically somebody who has an excess admiration for oneself, having an excessive admiration for oneself. That's what a narcissist is. And so the traits of a narcissist, they always be like a sense of self-importance, or cocky. They want to call you cocky. Another trait of a narcissistic person is manipulative. Another trait is they don't show any empathy. And so all of these negative connotations that are placed on that word narcissist, that label of narcissist. But I would submit to you that narcissism is necessary in a lot of the leadership roles that we have in this world today. And I'll prove that, because any type of advocacy, you have to have a certain qualities to be effective, and those qualities just happen to be the same qualities of a narcissist. Now you look at all of the people who carry narcissistic qualities in our scope, in our society. You see the world leaders carry these narcissistic qualities. You see the athletes carry these narcissistic qualities. Soldiers carry these narcissistic qualities. Even down to your superheroes carry these narcissistic qualities. The only quality that they took away to make the superhero a superhero was the fact that they had empathy and sympathy for people. But other than that, the attributes of a superhero match that of the villain. So let's go through this, because I'm gonna break it down. I gotta break this down. I'm a narcissist myself, and I know that I'm a narcissist, and I try to be very mindful of my narcissism. And in doing so, I can use my narcissism to help people out. I'm often an advocate, which means that I speak for others who don't have the articulation that I do, or others who don't have the confidence to speak like I do with authority. You have to have a certain level of confidence in yourself to be able to speak with authority. You can't speak with authority being passive and being scared. That is not a quality that a leader carries. And so a leader has to have a certain level of admiration for himself, or a sense of self-importance, in order for him to carry himself in the manner that he does. Everybody is attracted to confidence. A man don't like a woman who has no confidence, unless he's trying to manipulate and take advantage of her. But a man who appreciates a strong woman is going to admire her confidence, and vice versa for any woman. They are attracted to strong, confident men. That's why we got this whole simp thing going on right now. Nobody likes a simp. Nobody likes a yes man. Nobody likes somebody who's insecure and don't have enough within themselves to stand up for themselves, because that means you don't have enough in you to stand up for anybody else. And so confidence is a must in anybody that we're going to look at as a leader, or somebody to pattern ourselves after. And so let's start with world leaders. We all know the science. We all know what the healthcare professionals say. The mental health professionals will tell you that most of our world leaders were either psychopaths or sociopaths, and these were qualities that were necessary for them to be able to pull off the things that they did. And you look at it, you have to have a sense of self-importance, Of course you do. That's what's going to get the people to vote for you. Do you think that these politicians go out here and say, "Oh man, I ain't all that. I can't really do much for you, but I try"? Do you think that person's going to get elected? Absolutely not. When Obama came on the scene, Obama was talking and articulated himself with confidence, competence, just all of the attributes that you need for somebody to say, yeah, I want that person to represent me. I want this person to lead me. And so we saw that from him and we appreciated that in him, but we also saw, or we understand, that manipulation is a part of that as well. As much as we love to believe that Obama is just this perfect guy who doesn't make any mistakes and he's always on point, that's just not true. That's absolutely not true. And so there's a certain veil that is covered over our eyes, or a certain persona that they put forth to give off that image for themselves to the people. And that's where the manipulation comes in. That's that manipulative trait of a narcissist. And so it has to be something that's natural within you to do. You know, if you get out there and you're not a narcissist and you're trying to project a image onto the people that you're not confident in yourself, nobody's going to buy it. And they're going to call you fake, and they're going to realize it really quick, and then they're going to cancel you. So with that being said, a lot of our world leaders have to have the traits of a narcissist to be effective in politics. They have to deal with other world leaders. That means that they have to exert a level of confidence over these people. You imagine having a meeting with Putin, with Vladimir Putin, and you have to show strength. Only a narcissist will be able to stand toe to toe with Vladimir Putin and not be intimidated and not be, bullied in a sense. So you have to have these traits in order to be an effective world leader. Now, moving on, our athletes. Oh, come on. We all know the athletes that we love the most. We love Muhammad Ali because of his confidence, his cockiness. We love Floyd Mayweather because of his confidence, his cockiness. Y'all love Conor McGregor because of his confidence and his cockiness. All of these attributes of a narcissist are necessary to make our greatest athletes who they are. The Kobe Bryants, the LeBron James, the Michael Jordans, the Charles Barkley's. Yeah. I even said Charles. Charles was a great player, and he had to have a narcissistic mindset. He had to have a sense of self-importance. He had to have no empathy or sympathy for people in some situations. And let me address this real quick while I'm talking about it. When I say no empathy or sympathy for people, sometimes it is necessary for you to not have that. And I'll explain why. What's the best scenario or case that I can give, or analogy that I can give to explain why? Um, you have to not be able to show sympathy and empathy in some situations because you're going to mess up what needs to be done in that person's life. Okay, a person needs, say there's a person who just won't do the right thing. They know what to do. They've been taught the right thing to do just like everybody else, but they in their own mind have just made it up that they're going to do their own thing regardless of what everybody else is doing. And so their actions is going to put lives in jeopardy and things of that nature. And so we have this person that we're dealing with. Say it's in my platoon. I'm the platoon sergeant. And I know this person is just that person who doesn't listen, who thinks they know everything. And so I know something's going to happen to this person because of the way that they're carrying themselves, and it's only a matter of time. And so when it does happen to that person, I'm not going to be like, oh man, I can't believe that happened to so and so. No, I'm going to be like, well, I knew that was going to happen, and I've been waiting for it to happen, because some people only learn through experience. You can talk till your head fall off, but until they actually feel the pain of it, until they actually go through it, they're not going to understand. And so you can't have sympathy or empathy in those moments, because you have to allow these things to happen to somebody in order for them to really learn the lesson. And so that's where you have to take that out. So these are qualities that a world leader needs. These are qualities that athletes need. These are qualities that soldiers need. I can't show empathy or sympathy when I'm downrange and a young child has a bomb strapped to him and he's walking towards me. I can't show sympathy or empathy then. I have to shoot. I have to take out the threat, because you're threatening the life of me and my friends and my partners that surround me. I have to do that. Now, the manipulative part, I want to associate the manipulative part with superheroes, because that is one that really, really stands out the most in this whole scenario. Superheroes are narcissists. They have to be narcissists because they have an excessive admiration for oneself. The amazing Spider-Man, Superman, Wonder Woman, all of these monikers that are given to them and that they accept about themselves, that requires you to have a certain level of self-importance. That requires you to have a certain level of confidence in yourself and your abilities above everyone else. That's narcissism. And another trait that a superhero definitely operates in is manipulation. Look at Batman, for instance. A lot of people don't know who Batman is. They don't know that Batman is Bruce Wayne. He's deceiving these people. Same thing with Superman. Same thing with all of them in their hidden identities. They are manipulating people. They manipulate the people that they date. They manipulate the people that are around them, and they use these people to garner and gain information and have an inside track, because nobody knows that they're one and the same. That is manipulation. And that is what superheroes do all the time with their hidden identities and things of that nature. So superheroes have a certain level of narcissism. And I'm tying all of this in together because, like I said before, the only thing that separates a hero from a villain is empathy. That's the only thing, that's the only attribute. And so, by any rights, you can say that world leaders, athletes, soldiers, superheroes, all of them fall under the umbrella of narcissism, and it's necessary in order for them to be effective. I could not have went into the boxing ring and beat the number one boxer in the nation at the time. His name was Chris White. This was in the 85-pound weight division. This was back in the mid to late 80s. My very first time being in the ring fighting anybody. And the confidence level that I had based on what my coaches was telling me. My coaches hyped me up. My coach's dad, I love Lou. Shout out to Lou. Rest in peace, my big homie. He hyped me up. My brothers hyped me up. My whole boxing team hyped me up to the point to where when I got in there, it didn't matter who my opponent was. I was going to destroy them. Period, point blank. Knocked him down in the first round. Shout out to Chris White. That was the dude that I fought. Now, mind you, like I said, this dude was the number one fighter in, well, I ain't gonna say the nation. He was the number one fighter in North Carolina. Um, and I beat him my very first fight. Why? because the level of confidence that I had in myself, the level of narcissism that I had in myself, the level of excessive admiration that I had for myself going into that fight led me to believe that I was unbeatable, and it showed in my actions. And that's the first instance where I was like, okay, there's something to this confidence thing. So when I joined the military, that's one of the things that separated me from the rest of the medics is my confidence in my abilities, because we were doing this one training thing where you have 30 minutes to complete the whole entire training cycle and the assessment and all of that stuff. And I got to 27 minutes and finished at about 27 minutes. And my instructor said, you would have been done in about 18 minutes if you wouldn't have second guessed yourself throughout the whole procedure. And that stuck with me. Second guessing myself could have been the difference between life and death, because the time span between 27 minutes and about 18 minutes, somebody could definitely bleed out and lose their life. And so having confidence is a must as a medic. As a combat medic, you have to have a certain level of confidence in your abilities and your teaching and your skills to go out there and just do things on the fly, because you don't have time to think. You don't have time to recollect. You don't have time to be indecisive. You just got to go do the work and get that guy to, or that guy or girl to a place where they can be fully worked on and fully treated. But your first treatment, you have no time to second guess anything. So you have to be very confident to be a medic in the military. And so that taught me to be very confident in myself, and be confident in the decisions that I make. And if I do make a wrong decision, oh well, own it and keep on moving. See, that's where that no sympathy or empathy comes into play. People say that medics are really emotionally detached. We're not emotionally well, we are in a sense, but in that line of work, you can't have sympathy and empathy a lot of times, because the overall and ultimate goal is to save that life. And so there's some things you can't worry about in an attempt to save someone's life. If somebody's not breathing and somebody in their family standing around and their family's crowding, I need y'all to get back, move out of my way. I got a job to do. I understand that you're mad and you're crying and you're upset and you're afraid that your family member or loved one's going to die. But if you don't get out of my way, you're going to make sure that that happens. And I got to have that type of energy towards people so that I can do my job effectively and save a life. And so, with this being said, man, we have to understand that being a narcissism doesn't always have to have a bad connotation to it. Because if you understand that you're a narcissist and you understand how you can apply those narcissistic qualities into your life to bring about a good end result, then narcissism is necessary in the scope of our life. Narcissism is necessary in this world. Narcissism is necessary in our effective quality leaders. So I'm not going to always demonize that word of narcissist. And yes, I do carry that label because I recognize that I operate in a lot of those qualities and attributes of a narcissist. But these are things that have been developed in me over time. Because like I said before in past videos and things of that nature, I was always a laid back kid. I was always the one who played the background. I never really wanted any responsibility because I didn't want anybody to have to be counting on me. And the military pulled that out of me, because a great leader will recognize another great leader who's shying away from leadership. And that's what they did. And they forced me into a leadership role to get me to build that confidence because they saw the qualities in me, but I didn't see them in myself. And so they had to make me see those qualities by forcing me into situations and scenarios to where I'd have to be a leader. And this made me confident in my abilities, made me confident in my thoughts and myself. And these are the things that went on to make me become a good medic and, opened a lot of doors for me, not only in the military, but outside of the military. And so, once again, I'm going to reiterate any type of advocate, whether it be community outreach advocate, people speaking on behalf of someone at the VA, people speaking on behalf of the representatives in their city, no matter what it is, you have to have these qualities of a narcissist in order to be effective in those areas. But you have to know how to harness those traits and use them properly and accordingly based on the situation or the scenario that's at hand. You know, yeah, I like my narcissism. I like being feeling good about myself. I like the fact that no one can put me down. They can try, but it absolutely does not work because there's nothing you can do or say that will trump the experiences in my life that have proved to me that I am above and beyond what a lot of people consider themselves as well. And that's okay to feel that way. That's okay to feel that way, but you better be able to back it up when the time is necessary. That's the only thing. So you have a lot of people out here who are narcissistic and they don't know it and they don't know how to apply these things to life. So they just come off as a jerk. We see it all the time in Hollywood, especially in Hollywood. That's the place where you have the biggest narcissists. Narcissism is bred and it thrives in Hollywood, but some people do not have the skill or the understanding to be able to back up the narcissism that they've adopted. So I'll just leave on this note right here. If you are a narcissist, learn yourself, study yourself, and also try to balance out your narcissism with humility in certain areas. There's balance in all things, and even in narcissistic behavior and narcissistic traits, there is a balance. And you can balance your narcissism and balance those traits in order to help somebody else and be effective in this world. That's all I really wanted to say this morning. I really, really hope that I gave some understanding and broke some things down to where people can look at narcissism different and not just see it as a bad character trait just off the top, because that's not the truth of it. There's so many nuances to it. So to all my narcissists out there, stay humble. To all my people who are passive, get a little bit of narcissism in your life. It's all about balance. And then you know what I say. This is your boy D Mac. I'm about to get out of here. You know what I say? Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.